Every century demands a different skill set. Historically, the nature of our jobs and careers has always been changing. Nowadays, data scientists, coders, blockchain engineers, social media influencers are some of the trendy jobs that are available out there. But do you ever think about what career opportunities must be there during the medieval period of the human history? Well, let us find out. From catching rats in sewers to juggling for the king, discover the strange careers that were available during the medieval period of human history. Hi guys, welcome to Eclectic. Here we talk about history, philosophy, politics and future tech. So if you are interested in any of that, consider subscribing. The job opportunities open to you in medieval times largely dependent on your social class. Those with status were typically nobles, members of the clergy or employed by the royal court, while the peasants or those without status worked as craftsmen or laborers. In between were the merchants who became wealthy by trading the products made by skilled workers all over the world. All roles were important as they ensured everyone had the goods and services they needed to live their lives. But the lower class workers were often exploited. As a result, the guild system was established. Guilds were organizations that promoted the economic welfare of their members. They were much like today's trade unions. Most professions had a guild, from merchants and weavers to blacksmiths and candle makers. Members would set prices and standards for their trade. Anyone seeking employment had to pay to join and be trained in the represented craft. So without further ado, here is the list of jobs which common people did. Herbalist, using practical herbal remedies derived from plants and other natural resources. These so-called wise women could treat a wide range of medical conditions, providing a lifeline for those who could not afford the services of a trained physician. Their knowledge of folk medicine was then passed down through the generations. Squire, promoted from position of page boy at 14, a squire was the servant to a knight and often accompanied him into battle. In return, he would be taught the code of chivalry, the rules of bravery, horsemanship, swordsmanship and other athletic skills before being promoted to knighthood at the age of 21. Court jester, employed by the royal court to entertain the king, a jester would juggle, tell jokes, perform tricks and generally clown around to improve his master's mood. In return, he was paid well and given a place to live, and he also enjoyed certain privileges including being able to make fun of nobles and get away with it. Blacksmith, every village had its own blacksmith. Blacksmith used to make everything from weapons and tools to doorknobs and jewelry. Using charcoal as fuel, they could heat iron until it became malleable, then hammer into various shapes on a heavy block known as anvil. Rat catcher. Rats were a big problem in medieval Europe, spreading diseases and eating crops. Accompanied by small dogs and cats and various traps and poisons to capture or kill rats, rat catchers would walk the streets and sewers, risking contracting the plague to earn a living. Herald. With so many knights scattered across Europe, each with their own coat of arms, it was the job of a herald to keep track of them all. This also helped them in their other main duty, conducting and announcing the participants of jousting tournaments. Scribe. As there were no printing presses in medieval times, scribes would copy out text in order to create additional copies of books. This role was often given to monks because they had been taught to read and write. Barber, offering much more than a haircut. Medieval barbers would often perform medical procedures too. Known as barber surgeons, they would extract teeth, amputate limbs, and carry out bloodletting, the practice of draining the blood to cure illness. With no anesthetic or training, and with only basic tools, it was often very messy. Spinster. In order for wool to be woven, it first had to be turned into yarn. Typically, this role was held by women, but male spinners did also exist. They would first twist the fibers between their thumb and forefinger, then attach them to a drop spindle, the weight of which would stretch the fibers into yarn as they spun. This was a short video because I accidentally came across this information while I was writing the scripts for my previous world history videos. So I thought maybe I should share this information with you guys. On my channel, I make videos on our past, present, and the future, which involves dealing with the history, philosophy, politics, and the future tech. Go ahead, check out the playlist and videos that are already available. Subscribe if you find them interesting, and also I assure you that more interesting content will keep coming up. If it is possible for you, economically support my channel on patreon.com.